I legit have no idea how the mic... It never works. Like, every single time I try to do a live stream. I even said, test all the things before you go live, and I didn't test any of the things before I went live. Live Monday AMA. Sharing this out to the internets. Can't hear shut. Yeah, I know you can't hear shut, but now you should be able to hear shut. I need to just give up on live streaming because I am terrible at it. I gotta share this out. I'm sorry. You can hear and see. I'm glad that you can hear and see. It makes me happy. Hear you now. All right. Well, that's good. I learned how to unmute my microphone. Yay! Always give up. I always got to give up, right? We don't try harder here. There's no such thing as try harder here. Just give up. I don't know if you guys can hear the music or not. Hopefully not, because otherwise YouTube will be like, oh, you shared the video with music in the background. Now we're going to flag you forever. Anyway, it's Monday. How y'all doing? We're doing a live AMA. It means you ask whatever you want. That's all on you. We're just hanging out. What's this? Pi double. Oh, we got to fix this stupid thing again, yo. We can't see all of the chat again. I thought I fixed this yesterday, to be fair. Apparently we did not fix this yesterday. That is very, very unfortunate. Let me close this out. Oh, why won't it show the whole thing again? It's doing that thing again. This is what I get for messing up all the things all the time. Unfortunate. Anyway, you got your CPA license. You want to get started in cybersecurity and or software engineering. How should you start? You should start by learning those things, honestly. Like learning whatever it is that in cybersecurity or software engineering that's going to start interesting you, or that sounds interesting to you. But you have to pick one of those, right? Like, you could get into software engineering and then like further down the road get into cybersecurity because of that. Like the possibilities are endless. I think the thing is, just start with one of them and the rest will come, kind of thing. Like, as stupid as that probably sounds, it's honestly the truth. Now, let me see. 100. All right, will this work now? Spage87. Dang, bro. While since you watched a video, lost a ton of weight. Kudos, looking good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Always appreciate that. Too bad. You're going into your third year of IT degree, majoring in networking. Besides the A+, what should you add to your resume to get an entry-level job? Besides the A+, any other certification? I think, quite honestly, the Security Plus certification is a great one to have on your resume. But really, as far as like marketing standability goes, like that standpoint, if we look at it from that view, the Security Plus still, but something like the CCNA or really like any other Cisco cert, Microsoft cert, those are all going to be really good to have on your, like, so especially like Microsoft, like maybe some cloud certs. Oh man, like the list could go on and on, but anything above the A+ is going to be helpful for you. That's basically like the best way to answer that. Andy, you DM'd me once on Instagram some questions about Sea Snake because you were going to take a course, but I never replied. Now you're on your second semester and you're loving it. Well, I'm sorry. I get so many messages every single day across all of the platforms. And then since I manage all the stuff for TCM security now, all the social media, like, yeah, the amount of messages that I get on a day-to-day basis are just, it's freaking ridiculous. And I'd have to give up because there's no possible way I could do it. Like, I just can't. Can't keep up with y'all. I'm sorry. Brother E, what's up? Hey, you started a job as an entry-level IT tech. It's been about a month, and it's been good. A question you had is, what would the next step? What kind of position should you aim for? You're also studying for your A+. I actually just did a video kind of on this the other day. Like, so you just started your first IT job. Now what? It's literally, I think, like the last real video that I published. I should be able to pull this up on the YouTubes very easily for you if you please give me one moment. Get shareable link. All right. There's the link to that video. But basically, like, if you started in your first entry-level IT job, start learning as much as you can. You know, that's going to be your first step. And then as you're working through this position, you're going to start to get familiar with a lot of different technologies. Find the one that you enjoy the most. And that's kind of like the trajectory that you need to take. Like, start learning about the things that interest you for many reasons. But that way you can kind of start lining up like your next career path based on your interests. Because it's going to be, I think, easier that way for sure. I hope that helps you. Lazy Hug, you're 24 and you're trying to make the switch from construction to IT system admin, but your problem is having difficulty with spelling. Do you think you have a chance with IT career? Yeah, I think my spelling sucks, but that's the great thing about all of the new things in the world today. Like, I would download Grammarly, honestly. That program can probably help you tremendously with your writing and spelling. Because it's going to constantly give you suggestions and like try to autocorrect everything that you're doing. And if you take the time to actually learn from that and like observe like why it's making those changes and things like that, like hopefully you'll learn to be a better speller, learn to, just put sentences together better and things like that. But I don't think that's going to stop you necessarily, but not utilizing something like Grammarly to help you would stop you, because otherwise, like, it just everything has auto spell check on it nowadays, right? Like Exchange or Outlook and Gmail, they all have autocorrect. So there's no reason that you should ever be sending anything out that has bad spelling because of that. So Dom Hill, you don't know if I missed your question. Somehow the video froze and you had to reopen the app. I don't know what I think I answered your question, but what was your question again, Dom? Why are these like lighting up a different color? Is this some kind of different chat that's not like I don't know why it's doing that in my program here. Anyway, I'm sorry. I skipped over your question. I'm sorry if I skipped over your question. It's very hard to keep up with all the questions. Please ask your question again, and I will try to get to it if I can. And yeah, here, anything in Chrome is covered in Grammarly. There you go. I love Chrome because it spell checks all of the things for me. Sweet Dukes, you passed your CCNA, congratulations, and you have no experience in IT. You want to know what IT job you should pursue. You're actually desperate. Any single IT job that will hire you, right? Like, that's the one that you should pursue. All of the things. Like, honestly, like, just start applying for all of the jobs, especially all the entry-level jobs. I should be very specific in that. Just start applying for all of the entry-level jobs because, I mean, without just having a CCNA, that's sometimes not good enough, especially like today's day and age. Like sometimes it's just not good enough for like, just getting started in some type of networking position. you really got to have experience and things behind your belt. So it can be difficult to jump right into a networking position with no type of IT experience. So that's why I just say, hey, start applying for all of the entry level positions. Otherwise, like if you have your CCNA and you have documented experience, like putting labs together and, going through different, courses and things to obtain your CCNA, like that can be helpful, but man, it can definitely be difficult. Why do people find the CCNA so hard to learn? I think everybody learns differently. So whether the CCNA is hard is like relative, right? Like it's going to be hard to one person and it's going to be really easy for somebody else. Does that make either person smart or stupid? No, absolutely not. Like that's not how learning works, and that's not how just reality works. Some people will learn things just much easier and much quicker than other people, and that's okay. I'm more of a hands-on learner, right? Like I need to be hands-on with things, learning things. I'm not one to sit back and watch videos or read text all day. Like I can do a little bit of that, but if I'm not applying like what I'm learning to something physical, I'm not going to have the best learning opportunity. Andrew Marcos, is there a good website that tests your IT knowledge in a specific area and gives you feedback on what's needed to improve? I don't think of it like a specific one that would do that for you. There's things like Test Out. Test Out is really good because they offer a lot of like very simulated labs and things like that, and that could be helpful. Otherwise, there's like test bank programs and things like that out there that will test your knowledge, and some of them will come back and say, hey, these are the things that you need to improve upon. Hawaii vacation when? I don't know. When is TCM taking us on Hawaii? TCM employee vacation to the Hawaii. You don't have to announce to everybody that I'm streaming, Heath, you jerk. God. I didn't... Just made him crack. God. Sorry, I'm reading our Slack channel right now. Bunch of jerks. Appreciate the advice. You're welcome for the advice. I hope it's helpful. Dom Hill, you're doing classes for computer support and currently have a job with a data center, and you're trying to get a job as an IT technician. Any advice? Well, I would just apply for all the IT technician jobs, quite honestly. You already have experience, so if you're going for an IT technician job, being that you already work in a data center, I don't see like what could potentially stop you or slow you down in any way. I think the best thing for you to do is just start applying for the jobs that you want to have. You already have experience, and that's like the hardest thing, the hardest part to obtain all the time. So now that you have experience, good to go. Start applying. I hope that's helpful, Dom. Bro dropping dimes on the tips. Always. That's like what I try to do, right? I hope to do that. I'm not going to try to butcher your name, but you say, can you get a network systems engineer job by doing only IT related projects? Potentially, yeah. If you are able to document all of these projects that you are able to do, like whatever these projects are, like say you have a website, you can, show documented proof that like you have done XYZ in network or system engineering. Make YouTube videos. You don't have to show your face. You don't even have to talk. Just put like text over the screen. Just show that you're capable of doing things. And then getting out on LinkedIn to kind of market yourself. Like these are all the things that you kind of have to do nowadays to really stand out. It's not as easy as it once was. Is it possible to land a position by just doing those things? I mean, anything is possible, right? Sir Wet Biscuit. I love the name. That's funny. Wet Biscuits. All right. Starting your first baby IT help desk technician job tomorrow with 0 certs and just having done things at home. Excited but apprehensive. Well, good luck to you and congratulations. It should be fun. Have a great time. Matt Palomo, the cyber mentor, answered your question. Zoho is pretty awesome. There's other ticketing systems out there that offer like a free trial. Sorry. Like Service Desk and things like that. I mean, those are great just to kind of like get familiar with for sure. How long does it take to learn what? I love this question. How long does it take to learn what? Hi, Zach. It looks like you are suddenly telling your employer that you're on a tropical island. Pan camera to Pina Colada. We're waiting. I wish I were on a tropical vacation. That'd be pretty freaking cool. I need a vacation. I really do. It would be awesome. I need a vacation without kids. That's what I keep saying. I keep telling the wife that. I need a vacation with no kids. It'll be great. Dom Hill, you've been fixing computers and playing around with multiple operating systems using virtual machines, so would it be great to apply before or after you're done with school? Before. You said you're already working a job, right? Go out there and get it. G. Dillon, you want to get into IT project management. Currently, you have ITF Plus and CAPM certs. What other cert skills would I recommend for a newbie that's going towards project management, like the PMP, project management thing from, I can't think of the name of the company now. I'm drawing a blank on it. Somebody will put it in the chat, though. But there's also the Project Plus from CompTIA. I just butchered Spanish to a Spanish speaker. I probably did, because the last time that I took Spanish was in 8th grade. And that was, gosh, so many years ago. That was way too long ago. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not my thing, man. I'm sorry. Goodness sakes. Can I say something about AWS cloud computing? Learn AWS cloud computing. You're welcome. Hardcore Hall. Any tips for engineering analyst roles, specifically Linux? What even is an engineering analyst? All right. This is a great question because this is going to give you some homework to do. Go on Indeed.com and type in engineering analyst and look at all of the different job descriptions that you see with that role. And you're going to leave just as confused as you are now. Because the fact of the matter is, job titles in IT mean absolutely crap all. They don't mean a darn thing. They really, truly they're stupid. Look at the job description. The job description is going to give you the best indication of what you're going to be doing in that position. And I say that only because whatever an engineering analyst is in one, job or one business is going to be doing completely different things in, at a different job or industry or location, whatever, right? They might have the same exact job title, but their job description is actually completely different. So you really have to pay very close attention to the job description. And this is you'll see this so much with network administrator positions. I think this might be the one between network administrator and system administrator job titles or roles. Those ones get mixed up so much, so you'll see a network administrator role. And when you look at that job description, it doesn't really say anything about managing a network. It really just covers managing all of the servers within that network. So pay very close attention to job descriptions. If I miss questions, I'm sorry. It's hard to answer all of the questions. I don't have 800 viewers in the chat like Heath Adams, but it's still hard to keep up with y'all. And I just talk too much and ramble. I'm sorry. You searched all over Indeed, still couldn't get an idea. Yeah, that's because I think sometimes people just make up job titles. Honestly, it's just so stupid. And IT is just ridiculous. So yeah, engineering analyst. You could look up business analyst. You could look up all different types of IT analyst types of roles, and get an idea potentially. But otherwise, like if you're applying for a engineering analyst role or whatever, what does that job description say? That'll give you an idea. I skipped your question. It was about AWS. I think you said, can I say something about AWS, didn't you? And I said, yes. I said something about AWS. Go learn AWS, right? I don't know why. I'm trying to figure out like why these chats are coming up like green, and it's not like a super chat or anything, or at least it's not notifying me that it is a super chat. Brandon Bowman, what's up, brother? How you doing? How would you go from first line support to IT project manager? Well, if you're currently in a IT support role, I would start trying to put as many projects on your plate as you can. Start getting documented experience doing, completing, participating in projects, and then of course there's certifications that can help along that route as well, like the CompTIA Project Plus or the PMP by, I still can't think of their name. Should probably look that up. That's your green. I wanted to show that message. That was all right. That was his green chat hack and told me to get effed. Is that for members maybe? I don't know. I've asked this question like 6 times, I think, huh? You get very confused when it gets to cloud. What is the career in cloud exactly? Does it provide related career or something else? You're confused. As an example, what is cloud architect exactly? Man, cloud. If you want to think about cloud, right? Like the cloud is everything that you would see in a physical environment. I mean, the cloud consists of everything nowadays. There's cloud networking, there's cloud data, there's cloud blah, 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 there's cloud all of the things. So what exactly is cloud? It's all of these services hosted on other servers, which it's just like, it's literally the same thing that you would experience in a regular environment, except you're hosting everything somewhere else. Right? Like sometimes I don't know like the best way to describe this, Cloud starts with virtualization. Now that's all that the cloud is virtualization, essentially, right? Like that's what it is. It drives me crazy when people are like, oh, like just get a cloud job, or there's like cloud boot camps. Like you don't need to have any experience in IT to become a cloud engineer. And it's like, no, what the heck are you talking about? Like you absolutely have to have some type of knowledge in IT to do anything cloud related. I mean, all the cloud is doing is putting everything in other people's data centers. There's literally no other difference. So you still have to know how a server works. You still have to know how a network works and operates, right? Like, it's just stupid. Here's good advice to you. If you're confused about the cloud, study the materials for either AWS Cloud Practitioner or the AZ900. It covers everything you need to know to understand what the cloud is. But that's not even true. Like, yes, that's true to an extent, I feel like, for sure. It does cover what the cloud is at a very fundamental level, but it still like doesn't describe to you like what the cloud does necessarily, does it? Like, it's so hard to like break that down in like very, very easily digestible terms sometimes. Here, there you go. What is cloud architect? If they architect cloud systems, it's nothing crazy, just an IT person that deals with systems that are hosted somewhere else and optimizing for cost and performance. Yeah. I mean, the cloud just makes everything like more complex in a way, right? Like there's just more added onto everything, it's not an easy thing, and it's not something that people should just jump into because it sounds cool and because it sounds like you can make a lot of money. It's like the same thing with security. I don't necessarily recommend like everybody and anybody should jump into security right away without knowing fundamentals. And people get all upset like, oh, you're being a gatekeeper, blah, 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 blah. No, it's like just kind of like truth. Like this is the stuff that's going to help you be successful. Like, do you want to hit the ground running, or do you want to like, not? I don't know. Sorry. You still can't understand what do companies exactly mean by entry level. You see the job description sometimes as 2 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years. Any idea on how many years IT companies exactly consider entry level IT jobs and experience? All of the jobs require experience. It's just, I've done videos on this. I've like literally gone on tirades about this. Like, it's stupid. If you see an entry level job, just apply for it. It's entry level. Every single job description that you see, right? It's going to have like these are the things that we're looking for. These are the quote unquote requirements. Well, okay, like the fact of the matter is a job description is a wish list. Like any job description you see, like that's a wish list from that organization. They are wishing and hoping and praying sometimes that they're going to find a perfect unicorn that checks every single box in that job description. That just does not happen. And, you know, sometimes like when it does happen, like companies don't even want to pay for that because a unicorn can be very, very expensive. So that's the wish list. Your job description is that wish list. How much of that job description do you actually meet? I tell people like 30 to 50%. If you meet anywhere in that range for that job description, just apply for it. Because, and especially for an entry-level job, they're going to teach you and train you how to do things the way that they need to be done. So, yeah, apply anyway. And that drives a lot of people crazy when I say that, but, you know, whatever. Good luck to you. So something like AWS has nothing to do with companies, right? Is only related to working Amazon-related jobs? No. So AWS, Amazon Web Services, right? That is a service that will allow you essentially to host other services out in the cloud. You are able to then host like your file server, for instance, out on an AWS server. AWS, like it just makes things like, you know, sometimes like more accessible for people, sometimes more affordable for people. But like, I guess here, back in the day, like, and it's still the same, right? Like if you worked in an IT department, you might have like a server room, and inside that server room, you could have like stacks upon stacks of servers in there that all ran different services, from file servers to print servers to, you know, like your Active Directory server, domain controller. The list goes on and on and on. Nowadays, instead of having all of those servers and services on site, you can use a service like AWS, and you put all of those things out in the cloud. And you don't have to worry about those things being on site. And the great thing about that is like Amazon or like Microsoft, you know, they help to some extent manage some of that stuff for you. And like you also don't have to worry about things going down as often, or as, you know, it might not be like a huge like, you know, red alert that, you know, one of your servers goes down if you're in AWS, because if you use something like AWS, you could just spin up a new server in a matter of like minutes, right? I'm just like going like so far, like all these thoughts in my head, trying to like throw them out there on what this is. And I'm probably confusing the ever living crap out of you with the cloud. The cloud is just all of the things. Sorry. At what point can you call yourself technologist? Any point. You're interested in technology? You are a technologist. Why not? Yeah, anybody, including you, can use AWS to host their infrastructure. You can definitely go sign up for AWS for free. Right now, I want to do a video on this. I'm going to be doing videos on this, but you could sign up for AWS for free. You do have to have a credit card, but if you use something like privacy.com, you can sign up for AWS and not have to worry about ever being charged any type of money, which is really awesome. But you can like literally start learning AWS for free. Like you could spin up Linux servers, you could spin up Microsoft Windows servers, and you can start learning for free. And it's amazing. We'll have a video on that. It's going to be, well, I think a lot of that will be part of our practical help desk course, but I do want to put out some other server or other videos also. about that? What's going on, System Tech? 911 Tim, what's going on? The cloud is just someone else's computers. Cloud is using other people's resources. There you go. Do I know anyone in the IT field that calls themselves a technologist? No. I think like a lot of anytime somebody writes an article about somebody who has no idea what, the technology world is, like they'll probably be referred to as some type of technologist, right? But if you want to refer to yourself as that, go for it. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You call yourself whatever you want. I am a technologist. Did you screenshot that? Would you like another screenshot for that? I'm just kidding. Or another, never mind. Let me shut up. Anyway, you do have basic experience and certs in the networking field. You're looking to transition into pen testing and wondering if stronger networking skills like CCNP or above is recommended. Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be necessarily recommended. If you're looking to jump into security, you already... So you have some certs. I don't know what certs. Maybe your CCNA or whatever. Start getting some security related certifications if that's what you want to do. Oh yeah. You know what the cloud is. You're only confused about the courses part and career part. Thanks. Yeah, like I could go on. We could probably like sit here for hours talking about the different courses and careers within the cloud. I'm sure. Do I recommend the CompTIA trifecta or bypass network for CCNA? I mean, honestly, I tell everybody don't get your Network Plus because your CCNA is cheaper. The only time I would ever tell you, hey, go get your Network Plus is because an organization is requiring you get that certification. Otherwise, your money is better off suited going into the CCNA certification. And as far as like a marketability standpoint, like the CCNA trumps anything CompTIA related all day long. But I think learning the material on the Network Plus is beneficial. But yeah, the A Plus is a great certification to have, and the Security Plus is definitely Security Plus. As far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion, the CompTIA Security Plus is the best and only certification that CompTIA should offer. Really, I mean A Plus a little bit. I like that one. I am partial to the A Plus. I like that certification, but having the trifecta is still beneficial. Honestly, like having those certifications is always going to be helpful for you. There's never going to be a time where it's not going to be helpful for you. Alex, you are torn between pursuing a career in cybersecurity or software engineering. Is there any way you can be involved in both? Yes, 100%. You can be a software, and I can't even say words that I want to put together for that. But yes, there are certain, you learn to be a software engineer securely. No, that's the terrible way to put it. But if you want to, I would recommend maybe going the software engineering route and then learn how you could take that what you've learned there into the security world. So maybe that's securing applications and software and things like that. Man, there's a lot of potential there. Honestly, the cool thing about IT, I say this all the time, you're never siloed in one area. You can transition in this field very easily. It does not require a ton of effort. And you should never feel like you are, like you're going to be stuck. Planet Society, do I think an IT degree or CS degree is better for cybersecurity because you're an aspiring cybersecurity analyst? I don't think either one of them really matters, to be honest with you. Honestly. It's going to make a bigger difference how you align your experience and the certifications that you have, because you're just going to be filling a checkbox with a degree. You could have a degree in, a homemaker. I don't know, right? Like you can have a degree as an accountant, right? Like you check the box. You have a degree. That's all a lot of people care about. when they're asking for a degree or requiring a degree. All they care about is that you have a degree. They don't necessarily care what it's in, but if you can align your experience and or certifications towards the area within IT you're looking to go down, be it cybersecurity, like that's going to be the best. Like that's going to be the most helpful for you. I hope that makes sense. Zane, what's the ideal place to start off your career after bachelor's in networking and security? Could you bypass a help desk role? I mean, potentially anything is possible, but really outside of like that degree, what else? What else do you have that's on your resume? Do you have experience that you're putting on your resume? Are you, building home labs, documenting your experience? Are you out on LinkedIn networking and all of these fun things? Because if you do all of those fun things, like that increases your chances of bypassing the help desk completely. Like honestly. Of course, there's a lot of organizations that will hire you in analyst types of roles or some types of technician roles and things like that that might be above help desk by having a degree. Man, there's a lot. Wow, who are you? You look great. Well, thank you. I don't know who I am. I'm a stranger danger. Janner, you were brought in to manage infrastructure, engineers, background is compliance, ITIL, risk. But you're not an engineer. It's been going well, but is there any future for me or should you go back to ITIL? I mean, there's always a future. What are you concerned with about not having a future? I think when people think about, I think I've seen this just over the years when people are trying to put their IT future into perspective. And this is like in my last video that I put out where I was like, you have to have flexible goals. You have to be really flexible with your goals because in IT, it's so incredibly easy to transition and find new areas of interests and pivot. Like you just have so many possibilities in this field. Like you never have to worry about being stuck. You never have to worry that you're going to work the same job because with IT, it's just constantly evolving. And if you're evolving with it, like you're going to go like endless places. Like I know it sounds so like cheesy and stupid, but it's so true. Like if I look at my journey in IT, right? Like in 1999, I started learning freaking HTML. Why did that take me so long to think of that? I did web development for like 10 years basically. Like that's how I learned so much of what I do now even. But yeah, for 10 years I did web development and then I got bored of that and I was like, this infrastructure stuff, that looks really, really cool. I want to start doing that. And I did infrastructure stuff for a while. And then, then I did YouTube stuff and now I'm working for TCM Security I don't know what I do at TCM Security, to be honest with you. I do a lot of things. All of the things, Zach of all trades. I love what I do. Like I never in a million years would have ever saw where I am. Like I never would have pictured that. Am I still in a technology position? Yeah, to some extent, 100%. But it's not as technology driven as it once was, right? Like I do a lot of marketing stuff, which is completely outside of the technology space, right? But like all of the knowledge and skills that I have from working in IT all of my life have helped me tremendously in what I do now with like marketing. So yeah, it's just never would have saw this coming, right? Like never in a million years. And like, so this week, starting Wednesday, TCM Security, we're doing our free PNPT live training. So we're going over like all 5 courses that will teach you everything that you need to know to pass our practical network penetration tester certification. I'm going to be participating in that because I want to get my PNPT certification. That's something that I've wanted since its existence. Now I have a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that, So that, yeah, like I still get my technical stuff in there. because I crave it. Like I crave learning. I constantly want to be learning. And that's like another thing about IT as well, right? Like some of the most successful IT professionals that I know are just constant learners. They just crave learning things like that. They just live for that. And I say that because like there's so many other people that I've worked with in IT who just have no interests in technology. Like they could care less. They see IT as a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't want anybody to think that there's anything wrong with that because it's not. I mean, IT can be a great career. It doesn't have to be your passion and you don't have to take that home with you by any means. And it does not mean that you aren't going to be successful or more successful than somebody who is extremely passionate about IT. However, it's going to be much easier for that person who is passionate about it. It's going to be much easier for that person who does go those extra miles all the time and sits at home learning things constantly. And is just constantly learning as much as they can. That person is going to be far more successful. I would say probably 99% of the time. Somebody's asking about building labs, and Kev Runs on Duncan, always coming in clutch, giving you a link there. So make sure you check that out. Great playlist, I'm sure, to help you build a home lab. How exactly do you study for IT? Because you're losing so much time taking notes with theory. So here's one of the things like you have to understand as you're learning anything about information technology. Like you really have to grasp this, like what I'm about to tell you. And you really have to put a lot of weight on this. And you have to just try to understand this the best that you can. There's no possible way that you're going to learn all the things in IT. And the sooner you kind of understand that like you're never going to grasp all the things, you're never going to be 100% in all of these things, the sooner you'll start like stop beating yourself up on not knowing all of the things, right? Like it's so important to know that. Like you're going to learn so much of IT and about IT just by working in the field years, right? Like it takes years to learn all of these things. There's no possible way you could learn anything overnight. And quite frankly, there's nothing out there that will teach you that either, right? Like the CompTIA A+, while it's an amazing fundamental based certification, it's not going to teach you everything that you need to know about stepping foot into an IT position. It teaches you great fundamentals, but it doesn't have everything there that's going to really help you be successful. So you just have to understand that like there's a lot to grasp and it's okay to not know everything, but it's not okay to not, I don't know how to word this. It's okay to not know everything, but you absolutely have to know how to find everything. Like you have to know how to find the answers. It's okay to not know it, but you have all the tools and resources available to you, especially in 2022, to find all of the answers that you're looking for. So yeah, I hope that's helpful for you. Don't beat yourself up over not knowing things or not grasping things. Like it's time, man. Like or whatever, it's just a time commitment. You'll pick it up over time. Like I still learn things. 20 years working in IT, and there's still like basic things that I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I just learned that, huh? Like it's just weird stuff, It's like probably stuff that's covered on the A+. And that's like another thing too, is like, I keep referring back to this just because it's a fundamental base certification, blah, 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 whatever. But there's going to be a crap ton of material that you're going to learn on the A+ that you will never see out in the real world. And that's not necessarily a diss to CompTIA. And I shouldn't say that you'll yes, you'll never run into some of these things in the real world. But sometimes, occasionally, you'll run into one of those weird things and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I learned that on the A+ 15 years ago and I'm just coming across this now. Like that's the kind of thing that you're going to see. I hope that's helpful. CompTIA taught you how to hand over $200. Isn't the CompTIA like $400 total now? Kev Runs on Duncan, always coming in with the good advice here. Pick a path in cybersec you want to pursue. Makes it easier to determine what skills you need to learn, and learn those skills as you apply to entry-level jobs. 9 years help desk. Oh my gosh, did I miss a question? Dude's working 9 years in the help desk. That's a long time. Go do whatever you want. You've been working in IT for a freaking decade, man. You got all the XPs. It's time to level up. I need to write right now on the bottom of this cup. Yeah, A plus is 2 tests for $245 each. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of stupid, but you could sign up for CompTIA's store program, which I think is like 30 or 40 bucks. And then you save 30% off of your certification. So by signing up for their program and then utilizing that to obtain your certifications, you actually save money. So stupid. You know, CompTIA does some things right, and they do some things pretty well, but they also do some things that it makes me question life, honestly. Like, what the heck are you doing? I have to leave in 5 minutes. I'm just letting you all know right meow. Benjamin, you are volunteering as an IT support at a fire department without any pay. It has been about 2 months. How long would you recommend me staying there? You're also studying for your A plus on the side. Stay there as long as you can. Why not? Stay there as long as you are capable of staying there. But start applying for like real jobs right now. Make sure that you have that your IT support at the fire department on your resume, because that is going to be your saving grace there. My thoughts on CBT Nuggets, as far as a training platform, I've heard great things about them. I haven't used CBT Nuggets since like 2010 or something. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've used CBT Nuggets, honestly. A lot of people like CBT Nuggets. My best advice, like there's so many different like learning platforms out there. Like you got Udemy, you got Cybrary, you got CBT Nuggets, you got IT Pro TV, you got Pluralsight. The list goes on and on and on and on. Try them all. Most of them offer like a free trial now, so take advantage of that. Find the one that you like. Peter Burston, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're doing wonderful. Haven't seen you for a long time. Michael, you remember watching a video from me about that like a week before you paid for your tests? Yeah, I'm sorry. If I had all of the information available to me all the times, I would help you as much as I can. Kev Runs on Duncan says expensive but quality videos. Yeah. I mean, my favorite learning platform is IT Pro TV. For like most of the like technical things. I mean, outside of like TCM security, obviously we do security related things. And if it's going to be security related, I'm going to go to TCM security. It's not whatever, like that's the honest truth. But outside of TCM, yeah, IT Pro TV all day. And they're the most affordable. They're not as affordable as us. I mean, whatever, kind of are, but they're a great platform. And that's just me being like completely like trying to be unbiased because like, I mean, I don't know. I just love both of like between TCM and IT Pro TV, hands down the best platforms I've ever used in my life. Yeah, IT Pro TV is really good, honestly. If it wasn't for IT Pro TV, I never would have passed my Security Plus. Javier, hey, big fan of my videos. Is A plus worth it or still going straight to CCNA certification? I mean, the A plus is great information. Like if you don't have fundamentals in IT, like the A plus is like an absolute like must. And I'm not saying that you have to go get the certification, just at least study the material on there because you need to know it. But the CCNA, I will stand by this for until it changes. The CCNA is the best certification for you to have on your resume because it is the most marketable certification for you and will help you in that aspect, right? Like it's just, there's no getting around that. There's no denying that. There's no whatever. Having a Cisco certification on your resume, everybody just loves that. Everybody loves that. You're actually studying bachelor's in cybersecurity, just starting IT. Do you think it's worthy? You love my channel. Thank you. Like that's just kind of like a relative question also. Like do you have to have a degree to work in IT? No, absolutely not. There's not a requirement necessarily to work in IT, although some jobs do require you have a degree. So if there's like a specific job that you want to work and like for a specific organization and they require a degree, well, then you have to have a degree. Otherwise, like there's plenty of other jobs out there that don't care about your degree, right? It's just all on you. Having a degree is always going to be helpful. That is like the best bit of advice that I can give you. It is never going to hurt you having a degree other than just putting you in a considerable amount of debt. And you have to decide if that's worth it to you. So yeah. Yeah, see, and Cisco is still the market leader by a lot. A lot of companies use them. I mean, we don't, but that's not the point. Oh, that's funny. You don't, but other people do. Like, 98% of the rest of the world uses Cisco for all of their things, probably. Are there still a lot of job openings in the IT world? There will always be a lot of job openings in the IT world. Steve Gee, what's up? How you doing? Hello from Canada. Hello, Canada. Sorry, I always call it Canada. That's a bad habit. And Steve Gee. I'm sorry. Steve G? Steve Gee? Steve G. Steve G. I'm sorry. I've butchered your name probably 1,000 frickin' times. Sorry. All right, going through questions. All right, I unfortunately have to leave. But I will answer one more question. Congrats on the massive weight loss, by the way. Been following you for a while. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I feel great. I feel amazing, honestly. Like, I really do. Peter Burston, aren't you supposed to be getting your CCNA through your boot camp that you went to, brother? You still wonder what cert to go for. Currently looking at Net Plus, CCNA, Azure, and Fortinet at the moment. It's very bit overwhelmed by working in a help desk role. CCNA, hands down. CCNA or Azure, probably. Those are both fine. You can hear the background music. That means YouTube is definitely going to be flagging this for sure. Gosh darn it. The background music right now is Bad Omens, Artificial Suicide. That's been like my jam for a while. You gave up on that one? I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Not surprised, but I am sorry to hear that. Can I give you tips on weight loss? I wish I could give you tips on weight loss, but my tips are not good tips. Davey, have an interview for a network engineering apprenticeship on Wednesday. Any advice? Ooh, sure. Don't lie. Be honest with them. Like if you don't know something, just tell them, hey, I don't know this specific thing that you asked me, but I know how to figure it out. And your resources are like Google and YouTube and Stack Overflows and the Microsoft Answers and Reddit, right? Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Thank you for joining the live stream. As always, take it easy. Have a wonderful night. And I don't know. That's all. Keep learning. Where can you buy my hat? My hat will be available on our TCM merch store soon, hopefully. You should definitely be hitting up Heath Adams. Here, I'm going to screenshot this. And I'll put it in our Slack. Phase Superman. All right. Anyway, y'all take it easy.